Okay, we're going to talk about how to begin to design your cup and saucer. I think it's a good idea to start with templates instead of just going to the clay. So remember, your cup is one thing and your saucer is another. This is not an example of opposites, but it is an example of a cup and a saucer. So usually the cup sits inside the saucer somehow, and the saucer is plate-like. So you don't have to stick literally to exactly what this looks like, round, round. It should reflect your theme that you've picked. But as a result, it's going to be harder to design because I'm not giving you step-by-step instructions. So I will show you some patterns. So this pattern, you made a cup in Ceramics 1, and most likely you used a pattern like this. And we rolled it out with slab, and it became this. So one thing that I want you to notice is that clay shrinks. So this was my paper pattern, and that's my cup. It shrinks about 13%. So keep that in mind. Here are a couple patterns that I did when we were distance learning in the spring. And if you make a cup out of paper and you want to use it, you can just cut it down and then open it up and use that as a pattern. And I'll show you how I did that. This is another one. And so it's shorter and wider. So that would be a cup pattern that I could use. What I did with this cup, and if you have a coffee cup at home, you can do this, is I cut it down the side, and then I cut off the bottom, and I rolled it out like that. And that's a great way to get an arc. So what I did is traced it on the paper. So I traced it on a piece of printer paper or the paper that you have. I don't know how much paper you have left. But then I didn't cut it exactly because that would become an awfully small cup unless it suits your size of your idea. So I cut it what I traced. And then I decided that I would add some length to either side. So then I took it here and cut down. It's about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And now I have my pattern for my cup. Technically, you don't need to make a bottom. Those other ones I did because it was a different assignment, but that's not a bad cup pattern. This one here, I made out of slabs. So I cut a piece out and then I traced it 4 times to create a geometric sort of cup. And then this one here is what I'm going to try. And I found this on Pinterest, and so I decided to upload it to today's lesson, creating paper patterns. And it looks like this. And then what I would do is take these darts in, and I'll be showing you how to do that. So that creates kind of a squarish cup with soft corners on the bottom. And so it's hard to see now, but I'll be demoing that. So you certainly can use that. And then for a saucer, wait, one more. This is a coil cup. So this is the coil cup I made last spring. And you know, with coiling, it actually is probably, you probably have the most control. So you would do that just like we did our coil pots in Ceramics 1. So you take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and again, you have to consider size. So we'll look at what So again, this is probably a little small for that. So paper's cheap. You know, I can widen this just a little bit, but this wouldn't be a bad cup pattern. Okay, for the saucer, I'll just show you that you can take a saucer you have in your house or a circle and trace it. And then again, just like the cup that I cut apart, I'm going to take, and when I cut out, I'm going to cut it a little bit bigger. Now you certainly don't have to make your saucer round. You already know how to make paper patterns from our origami. And you can use any of those techniques that you use, the slump mold, the drape mold. We'll be going through that next week. So now I have a pattern that's a little bit bigger. So this, you know, like I said, we'll be talking about it next week, but this could be draped over something as a saucer. This could be slumped into something as a saucer. And so we'll be talking about those things. But what I want you to come up with is a pattern that you're going to use for both your cup and saucer. Now I have so many to find. So whether it is slab, just plain, slab with darts, or a coil, and then a saucer pattern. And we'll be working next week on it. Make sure that you get that done today, and make sure you turn in your sketches for grading. All right, good luck.